Hey guys, it's Kendall Bonner here. I know that I have not posted in a while. To be honest, I just needed a break and I wanted to make sure when I came back online that I had something to say. Unfortunately, with everything that's been happening, I feel like I can't be quiet any longer. And I'm totally unscripted here. I just wanted to come to you all, to people that know me, to people that maybe don't know me that well, but just kind of express my feelings and emotions about everything that's been happening of late in our communities. First, the pandemic, right? It's been such a crazy time, and I think the best thing that we can do during times like these is show empathy, show kindness, especially in the diversity of feelings that people have about the illness and the stay-at-home orders and the going back to work. And I think a good friend of mine mentioned that people right now might be going through various stages of grief, and sadness and depression and frustration and anger, whether you're mad because you have to stay home or you're mad because you have to go back to work, right? All of that should be expected, right? The diversity. I mean, we're American. This is the land of the diverse, right? And so I just wanted to just kind of comment on that a little bit and say, right now with both the pandemic and the social unrest, more than anything, we need to lead. We need leadership. And we each have a responsibility and a role to play in that. I don't think we should all be looking to leaders. I think we should stand up and be leaders, each of us. And during the pandemic, I did come up with an acronym, me and my acronyms, that has meant so much to me during this time. And it's the acronym that's really kind of held it together for me with my agents and my staff here internally within the office, which is L is for listen. When this first all happened, one of the first things I did was I tried to call every single one of my agents and touch base with every single one of them to find out and hear them, how they were feeling, what concerns they had, what they felt they needed, what they felt they wanted, what were they worried about or frustrated about or scared about, gave them updates on what the office was planning to do. And then it allowed me to drive content for the rest of the month, so that, because it was based on what they wanted and what they were telling me they felt they needed. So L is for listen, E is for empower. I think it's so important for leaders to empower the people they're leading. I don't think we should be trying to create cowards and servants, right? We need to encourage courage, right? We need to encourage courage. We need to show empathy. We need to, empower the people around us to feel comfortable and confident that they can do what they need to do, right? That A is for appreciate. I think we need to make sure we take time to appreciate the people around us and give thanks and gratitude towards others. And D is for develop. I think it's so important for us to teach one, reach one, teach one, share what we have learned. And I think that's part of being a good leader are doing those 4 things on a daily basis. And that's been what's guided me with my office and, like I said, my staff, my agents through this time. Now let's talk about the social unrest. Same principles I think apply. But what I do want to add is this has been really emotional for me watching, Blackout Tuesday, and seeing all the various posts, because I saw posts from, Black friends and white friends and, people who are American, people who are not American, all kind of joining together because enough is enough, right? I mean, aren't we tired of this? We should be tired. And I want to say this too. Nothing has ever changed in America until all types of Americans have stood behind it. Slavery didn't end because Black people decided it needed to end. White Americans had to make that decision as well. We stood together side by side to end slavery. We stood together side by side to end Jim Crow laws, right? And bring about civil rights for all Americans. And today we have to stand side by side, white, black, brown, whatever we are as Americans and communities around America, to say enough is enough, and that we're going to try to fix and heal what's been broken. You know, one of the things that had always stood out to me through whether was this. It's time for people to either take a stand or take a knee. You know, I was an athlete in high school, and one of the things that we did when there was an injured player on the field is we would take a knee. All sides, both sides of the competition. Everyone took a knee because we had an injured player on the field or an injured player on the court. And I think that's what's happening right now. We have an injured player in the game, guys. We have a whole community that is hurting. And so we need to stand together. We need to all take a knee or take a stand, but it's time for us to stop being silent. It's time for us to not be responsive, right? We need to say something. We need to share our stories. We need to encourage one another. We need to lift each other up. We need to take an honest look at ourselves and what we're doing, what we're saying, what we're being taught, what we've been taught, what we're teaching, because our children are going to live with the legacy of what we do right now. Our children, we have an opportunity here now more than ever. I have to say, it breaks my heart and it gives me hope to see so many diverse people standing up or taking a knee right now. And I just want to encourage people to do that. And I want to encourage people to have courage. It is scary to say something because right now, especially social media, can be so negative, can be so, you've got people that will say negative things. I mean, I'm worried about putting this video out right now and the feedback and the pushback and the flack I might get over it, the friends that might unfollow me, which, if you disagree with this message, and you probably should unfollow me, but, or unfriend me or whatever. But I just have to say, I am so hopeful because there's so many people who are standing with me or taking a knee beside me that don't necessarily look like me. And I'm grateful for that. And I want to encourage you guys to continue that. Continue telling your story. I will continue to love your stories. I will continue to support your stories. And I'm thankful for your stories. Now, I have one more group I want to address, and that is our law enforcement. I have family that is law enforcement. I have a great respect for law enforcement, for our military, and the risk and our first responders. Sorry, I got cut off, so I'm back again. But I have a message for our law enforcement, our first responders, military, the people that put their lives on the line every day so that I can feel safe, I can have the freedom of speech, and all the other rights that I receive as an American and all the opportunities that I've been given as an American. And I just want to say thank you first, because I believe that that's important, because there's a lot of great community serving individuals out there. And unfortunately, you get the highlight of the negativity as opposed to the positivity. So I do want to say thank you. But with that, I have a challenge to you. And I ask you to have courage, because all of this will never change until you help us change it. So this is a message to all our good cops out there, all our good law enforcement, the people that don't believe that, that do believe that Black Lives Matter, and that don't believe that in prejudice and racism and, executing, right? I mean, that's kind of what it's like. It's like watching an execution live. That's what we got to see, guys. Like, think about that. It should break your heart immediately. But for those of you that don't believe in that believe that Black Lives Matter too, fight with us, stand with us, take a knee with us. Police the bad ones. We need you to call out the bad ones. We need you to help clean up your house. Clean your house. I know there's, you guys have to stand in line together and you guys have to have each other's back. And I know all of that. I understand that. I watch all the cop shows, right? I don't mean to make light of it, but I know that that's a real thing for you, a brotherhood. You know, it's like a fraternity. I understand that. I believe that that's very, you know, normal. That's very human. But at the same time, there's snakes in your house, in your garden. And we've got to clean that up. And until you help us clean that up, we'll never be able to truly heal and move past this and fix what's been broken. So I know this is a controversial message, perhaps for some of you, and some of you might actually, you know, appreciate it, but, you know, we have an injured player on the field, so let's take a knee. Let's take a stand. Be heard. Listen and share the voices of others, you know, that are being impacted by this. Because all of this is bad for everyone. It's not just bad for Black people. It impacts white America too. So that's all I have to say. I'm sorry for taking up so much time, but I hope you can stand with me, kneel with me, grieve with me, and help me and help us all make a change. I appreciate you. I love you all. I'm grateful for your friendship and for your support and your love. And I'm hoping and praying that this is a pivotal change in American history, and that we'll rise up. Bye.